Let me say good morning to everybody. Once again, it's another Thursday. We want to appreciate God for this privilege He has given unto us. I always count it a privilege for us to share. I'm always grateful for it. And let me also use the opportunity to thank as many that are always constantly helping us to share our content. I use the word constantly because I know people who are constantly helping us to share our content every now and then. I can only say that God will always bless you, because the reason why I'm saying I'm always thanking people that are always sharing our content, because there are people out there that needs this content. There are people out there that when we share and they will get comments like "thank you for this." Most of them, they don't comment. They just inbox and say "thank you for this word that you shared today. I'm blessed, and for you to share with us." So I'm always grateful for you being able to help us to share. Today, this platform, if you are joining us for the first time, you are privileged to join us for the first time, or you stumbled on this video maybe 5 years from now, or 10 years from now. This platform, we have platform every Thursday, specifically for relationships, specifically for married people. And there was a time we had this Thursday, we called the platform, even though it's relationship and marriage, we called it the Spirit Coco. Because by the leading of the Holy Spirit, we find out that people have issues in their marriage concerning infertility. And I was privileged to have one of my daughters, yes, as in my daughters in secondary school, who is now a professional when it comes to the lab technician, who's a professional in the area of infertility. One way or the other, I would just think, what can I do? What can I do? And I did an interview. I interviewed my student. I said my student because those days, thank God for God. Yoruba people say we're like waters. We will still meet ourselves one day. And to the glory of God, is a daughter of mine, or the daughter of mine who is trained and a professional in the area of infertility and other areas also. So the next video we see is me interviewing her, and she's giving one or two insights concerning what infertility is all about. Let me also invite you there. We have a special program coming up. You see on my right hand side for the young people. There's another one coming up for also is coming up this on the 26th tomorrow. The video prayer against parental error for one of my friends and evangelist Aditayo Abidemi. There's another program coming up. I need to tell you this thing. There's another program coming up also, the Almighty. The Almighty. These programs are powerful, that you cannot afford to miss this program, because it will help you a lot. One is for young people, one is for everybody. The other two is for general. The Almighty, the challenge. You want to speak concerning young people, so you cannot afford to miss this program. You cannot afford to miss this program, because it is loaded already. That being said, please join me for this interview. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to drop your response at the comment box. God will bless you in Jesus' name. Let me also say too, there are books from us on relationship, on how we can be inspired. Is God a bully? Question young people ask, marital blissful, marital bliss, sex and marriage, and like that, audiobooks. That because we felt that some people don't have time, but you can listen to it, and it's very cheap. In Naira, it's 3,000 Naira, very, very cheap. I told somebody how much this book costs. Say, why? Is that cheap? I say, it's that cheap. So please If you are interested, please call the number you see on the So the first thing you do first of all is introduce yourself. In introduction, you tell us who are you, what do you do, and then from there we take it.
Mrs. Akonde medical lab scientist in diagnostic services, testing clinical investigation, and I work with Solvica Medical Diagnosis Center based in Lagos here.
Okay. For those who are joining us for the first time, this platform is called the Spirit Coco. Our intention is to help people in the ways we can, especially when it comes to relationship and marriage. And since we are speaking to a professional when it comes to science and the rest, so we want to go into one of the things that affects most, if not all, marriages, and that's infertility. So infertility, how does infertility affect marriage? And what is even infertility, especially for those who doesn't have an idea what it is?
Okay, fertility is basically the ability to produce kind. language for it, definition for it. I mean, we have fertility, and when you talk about fertility, you can't talk about a man without a woman, because since we are not asexual, we are asexual. You talk about a man and a woman, and it takes two. Like I always tell my patients, it takes two to tango. It takes two to make baby. If the husband is not properly, it's not medically fit, then the wife should. The two of them have to complement each other. Then in the African setting, I've seen a lot of situations where male ladies will come in and say, I just want to test myself. My husband will do his own later. No. When you talk about fertility in marriage, it's always good for the husband and the wife to do it together. Do your testing together, run your profiles together, do the treatment at the same time, then you know which way next. Hormones are actually the chemicals produced by the body to regulate various functions in the body. Men has their fertility hormones, women has, which we call female fertility fertile hormone. The male also has. The hormones are actually produced by the signals given to the brain. If they are not produced in the adequate quantity, then fertility may not take place. Talking about fertility hormones for we females, we have the FSH, the SFH, we have the prolactin, we have the progesterone, and the LH. And also for the men, we still have some of the hormones. Now, one thing I want women to know is a certain time we run out of egg production, because as nature we have it, female don't wait until puberty before they start releasing their egg. It's only until actually at puberty the matured egg that can be fertilized begins. But female has all their hormones for the lifetime from birth. And that is why female can easily run out of egg production.
Let me cut you in there. Let me quickly ask this question. Are there some things that can cause infertility in male or female? Because I've heard a lot of stories about, okay, because she used this or he used this, that's why they have infertility, that's why it's hard for them to have children. Are there things that you as a male person, you as a female person can do to affect your hormones, as you said, affect your infertility as a male or a female?
Yes. Actually, if I get that question very well, anything that can destabilize your hormone can affect fertility.
So what are those things? Like mention a few so that people that are listening.
Let me just give a simple example from the female side. If you use contraceptive, it actually deals on your hormone, the production of the hormone. So definitely it will affect the production. It will reduce the production of some hormones and increase the production of some hormones. So definitely it will affect the female fertility.
So it means that to use contraceptive is a no-no.
Well, at some stages, it's not a no-no.
Okay, so infertility in marriage, what is the process to which to fight against infertility for the male and for the female? What are the things they need to do when you're talking that time, you made mention of profiling. What are the things that okay, I as the man needs to do to help my spouse? How as the woman needs to do to help?
Okay. Running the necessary tests.
What are those tests?
Profiling for men. We still have for the female, just like the ones I've mentioned. They are the hormones that actually tells you when the female is producing egg, when you are fertile. A female has to know the right time of ovulation. Are you actually ovulating?
I don't get it. So some people don't ovulate, some females don't ovulate.
We have what we call anovulation.
Good.
Anovulation, you are not, the female is not ovulating.
So as an adult, not even adult, not those who have reached no, those who have reached menopause. So there's a possibility you might not ovulate.
Yes, and that is why we have what we call folliculometry.
Good.
Folliculometry. Folliculometry is just what we simply call, in the layman language, egg tracking.
Okay, they track the egg.
Egg tracking. Just track it with the aid of a scan machine. When you track it, you try to see how it's developing and when it's being released. So, what else?
The process. What test do the male or the female needs to do?
Just we call it basically female hormonal profile.
Okay.
It's the blood that will be collected, the blood sample will be collected from it to run the test for the male. Also for the female. The only difference between the female hormonal profile and the male hormonal profile is the female has to do with some dating, with menstrual calculation to follow it down. That's the difference between them. But it's still the same blood sample.
So after, let me go a step further. For those Christians, okay, fine, you have done profiling, you have done infertility tests, okay, there's nothing again that is needed to be done. What next? What can you cancel? What will be your cancer? Because we are talking about infertility, and I've seen people go through their lifetime without children, and nothing is found. What will you advise as a professional in this regard? A professional who also is a Christian.
Well, as a professional in this regard, running the necessary test for male, there's what we call there's what is called the fertility profile of the man. That is the work of the andrologist to do. They actually check.
Who is the
andrologist.
Who are they? Because I'm hearing for the first time. I know there's gynecologists.
Andrologists are actually the people that check the egg and the sperm produced by the female and the male.
Okay.
They look at the life in them. Motility in the spermatozoa doesn't actually confirm that the sperm is good enough.
Okay.
There are some things that they look into in the sperm produced by the men. By the time it's well checked and the sperm is okay, well, there's what we call sperm harvesting. I always advise people, in case, don't ever think it's a spiritual problem. SFA, which we call semen analysis and culture, is not the end of fertility profile for men. We have a lot of sperm testing, sperm washing, and the sperm washing is just removing the rubbish within the sperm produced and using the real one that are active, that are good. That's the work of the andrologist to do. It's not my work.
Okay.
and I don't go into it. And by the time they do that, they harvest the real one that are good and do the outside fertilization. After the outside fertilization, well, they can now implant it, and your wife and the female, the male, the women can carry the pregnancy to date. As long as some tests have been carried out, we even have some women, the female side now, that has incompetence in the womb capacity to carry the baby to date, to term. So there are some tests the andrologist will have carried out, and they will know if the female will be able to carry till date or till term or not.
Okay, finally, where is okay, I don't know the name of your company, so you can tell people, Mrs. Ololade Akonde, what we do in so and so and so and so. In other words, advertise what we are doing, location and everything.
Like I said before, Mrs. Akonde Fumilola Ololade works with Solvi Catch Medical Diagnostic Center in Ikotun, Abareje Road, Omoye Bus Stop. The name still remains Solvi Catch Medical Diagnostic Center. We run any form of tests.
Mention them so that they can be familiar with them.
Fertility testing, hormonal profile, we do scanning, we do lipid profile, liver function tests, kidney function tests, anything about your wellness, about your body health, fitness, we run.
Now, for those who are listening, now if you have questions about all these things, some of them I don't even understand, but on the crawler you see our details, the numbers to which you can call. On the crawler you see the address of our office, so you can contact her. On the crawler also, if you want to reach out to her through our social media, and you will see all those things there. So once again, we are grateful for indulging us, and we're grateful for having us around. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Ma.
You're welcome, sir.